Good evening, everyone. What a day. Whew. I don't want to do these every week. 12-hour day. Well, it's more than 12 hours. I just finished. I took, my boss gave me, say, take an hour lunch. I took 45 minutes. And I took a pause around, with my coworker around 5:30. Oh, it's brand new. And I took a 15-20 minute pause after everybody left. I am exhausted. I spoiled myself. I ate some crap donut. It's incredible how they make it look on the pictures at McDonald's. They make it look on the picture so delicious. And when you open the box, it's like 1/4 the size of what it's supposed to be and half of what the taste that's supposed to look like. The only thing that's consistent, the taste is always the same, it's the fries. I'm enjoying a chocolate milk. It's very cold. It's well, for me it's not very cold, but for the rest of the world probably. It's minus 5 degrees Celsius. The last one. So that was quite an intense day. A few one major mistake, that I didn't charge the customer enough for what he was supposed to pay, and I didn't want to push the boundary of irritating him so much, saying like, you know, the tire we did were not the right size. God, I wish they would give an high school tire education to educate kids on what a good tire is, so that when they grow up, they know constantly that a tire is the most essential part of a car. Doesn't matter what kind of car you have, doesn't matter what kind of ride you do, the tire are so critical. Your tire will determine how much fuel you'll drink, how well you're going to hold on the road, how well the car is going to brake on any surfaces, and how well you're gonna hang when you're on a curve or an emergency. The tire is your link from the mass of the entire weight of the vehicle to the road. When you buy a tire and you're about to pay some money for a used tire, there's a lot of things you need to know that you don't get screwed over. This lady comes today and she showed me the tires that are on the verge of being not so good, but they're not so bad. They're passing, like it's a passing grade. And the edge of the tire inside are ripped off. You can see the steel bead around the edge of the tires. So thankfully for her, they weren't dry, so I had to reseal everything properly. And our rims were so rusted that it's not rusted layers, but it's rusted at critical points. Because when they build a rim, it's rolled under pressure to make a form of a rim, and then the inside is welded, and that inside was rusted. So I had to explain to her that this section of the tire, even though it looks good, it's rusted. It's going to give in. So she promised me that she's going to do the winter with these tires and rims, and then she's going to change next year. And I say, well, if I'm still there, I'll make sure when you come and buy tires here, I'll help you choose the right one. Sorry, I had to spit. So, whew, toasty. So that was my day, arguing about tires. You know, in Germany, people will use the train for their transportation on a regular basis. And in school, and the regular school and high school, their stuff, they learn how to use the transportation. From different regions of Germany, there's different things, and there's two company, I think. And they learn that at an early age. Well, here, the goal of most people here in Quebec and most kids is to have a car one day. Well, in my day it was like that. I don't know about kids nowadays, they're weird. But back in my days, it was an ambition that your first thing to own was a car before you even own a home. So when I was at my driving school, there's a reason why they call this school technique, because you learn technical details about car and how to handle them and how to drive. It's not just your plain out the mills school. We actually went outside and examined the car, and the teacher explained every details and important details that it would make us good driver. It would stimulate us to know the value of a car, how to maintain it, and how to take care of it. We learn at an early age. I learned at 16 how to take care of the tires, how to put air in it, how to make sure that they are the right pressure, check my engine oil, check my liquids, what sign tells me when a liquid is worn out, how a car is supposed to handle on the road. The teacher there, they were a teacher that learned to be teacher at driving school, but they were also teacher that were taught the basic of mechanic from ASC, Automobile Standard of Engineering. And they were taught like this. So they were passing on this knowledge to us. And I'm sure that most of people who learn to drive with this school know how to maintain their cars today. But my wife, where she learns, she barely learns how to handle a car, but they concentrate a shitload on the laws just to scare the shit out of you, to make you a scared driver. So yeah, she's a good driver, but she's afraid of everything when she's driving on the road instead of teaching confident. Me, I learned to drive in the middle of winter on icy road, on snowy surfaces. I learned to park, I learned to start my car, let it warm up before I can go, and how not to abuse the car, because when it's really cold, all the parts are still like they're not worn in. The heat of the engine doesn't dissipate to the entire car to keep everything warm. So all these factors, you know. And over the course of my life, I own about 26 different cars, and I sold over 250 different cars. Every car that I sold was a success, and I taught people how to drive, and I taught 15 people how to drive. I teach them how to drive, and I teach them all the technical details of what I learned. I pass it on, and then you know that out of these 15 people, 14 of them passed the first time around. Only one person was a failure. So if you drive, maintaining and using a mobile vehicle like a car, a truck, a motorcycle requires a knowledge that you need to know at the basic is the tires. It's incredible when I see people older than me and they cannot identify that the tire is worn out, it's dried out, it's unusable, it's not safe. This guy tonight, he comes with me with his minivan and he showed me these two tires that he just bought. I look at the thing, and these tires are just good to put on a swing. You know, on a tree, when you have a tire as a swing, that's the only purpose that these tires would look like. They were so dry. They were bone dry. Seriously, if he's driving on dry asphalt, when he brakes, these tires would just slip up. These tires would just slip up. He had a good depth to the treads, but none on the side. They were worn out equally on each side, they were rounded up. And the side is the most critical part on a heavy vehicle. Yeah, the tire has to be a square block. So it's just like, blow my mind. It's like, how much did you spend for this, sir? I say I spent $80. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's $80 you can't use. These two tires are worn out and not safe for your family, nor that van. He said, I'm technically not allowed to put these on your truck because the sides are so worn out. And he said like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, in my mind I was screaming out loud, well, sir, you have the internet. Like, you know that expensive thing you have in the corner of your house that you pay $100 a month for just in services? You know, the internet, it can teach you anything you need to know. My God, it's hard to use. It was the same thing at the electronics store. That's why I couldn't stand it anymore. Like, you have the internet. Ask YouTube. You want to know how to do something? Ask YouTube. YouTube will show how to do anything. Blow my mind. Anyway, I'm so tired, I'm gonna ramble on and on. I'm gonna bore you to death. I'm gonna make like a 2 gig video again. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably I'll do one vlog or 2 this weekend. I'll film my car I'm gonna do this weekend. On this note, take care everyone and have a good night. I'm beat up.